is way more doable for every athlete that's in front of me. He's genuine in his reactions and interactions with everybody around him. So I think he elevates the experience for everybody in the room. I'm excited for day 2. How you guys feeling? Sore?
Fired up.
Anybody weirdly sore? Anybody got the under chin? Huh? My brain is sore. Yeah, anybody tired, mentally fatigued?
Sometimes.
I mean, if you say no, you're probably, it's just not true. You just don't remember. James, what's that feedback you're working on? What are you doing?
My feedback is simplifying.
Simplifying.
Yes, we're gonna be real simple today.
Yeah, we are.
Coaching to me is about giving back. I think if a coach says they want to get into it for the money, they're not gonna last. I think that successful coaches have people's hearts and souls in mind, and they want to see them thrive because they know a good routine with health and fitness is gonna help set them up for so many other avenues in life. Thumbs gonna be under your pointer finger and your middle finger, knuckles to the floor. Want to see everyone model a good hook grip. Looks good, looks good.
I love that you have elementary schoolers hook gripping.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. They better be starting young.
If you love the community, there is this intrinsic desire to understand the community from every angle. And that being an athlete is just one side of the ecosystem of CrossFit. And I think it's really remarkable to see athletes want to continue to expose themselves to more perspectives that just bring out the best in CrossFit as a whole.
Recover. Okay, I'm good with that right now.
Yeah.
I like
with
it.
the angle? Is
Yeah,
that what
I
you're
like that
looking for?
angle you're creating.
I
Really
like your
good.
acute angle.
Yeah, you're a cute angle.
Aw,
Yeah, for
that's a
sure.
nice
Anytime,
compliment.
anytime. I think people get this confused a lot. They think games athletes are superhuman robots. You know, we just eat, sleep, train, and in reality, we're all just human beings pursuing the same thing, better health. Do you think anyone wants to be my partner?
I can't do your weight, but I'll be your partner.
Let's go. We're rocking. That was easy.
I mean, I don't have to do your weight, right?
Yes, Scott. No, you don't. When I get to interact with just regular people that show up an hour a day, a couple times a week to hit a workout, it's my favorite part of the gym. It's my favorite part of working out. I get to meet so many cool people who have the same mission, just on a lower scale. You know, I'm trying to achieve the top end of what's possible, and they're just trying to constantly achieve better health and fitness. So we're both on this mission. I just do it up here. So we can relate a lot to each other. Anyone that pursues health and fitness in CrossFit, I have so much to talk with them about, so much to relate to them with, and I'm so excited to get to know all the people in class. Partner, how we do?
You did pretty good. I did all right, I guess.
No, you did great. How old are you?
43.
Okay, guys, he's literally me plus 20. CrossFit, you can do anywhere, anytime.
I've been doing these courses for over 10 years now, teaching the level 2. And I am amazed by how our community continues to grow. Every year we run through these courses, better and better and better coaches. What cue could you give? Stand up.
To shift her back on her
Yeah.
heels, I'd say shift the weight back in your heels.
No surprises
Yeah.
there. Nice, simple language, my
Yeah.
friend. Claps for James, yeah? Done.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, all done. Thank you. Nice work.
Is that simpler?
Nice work. Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay,
Was
okay,
that
good.
simpler? Yes. It's amazing to see the whole tide rise and all of the coaches in every affiliate get better.
It was beyond what I expected. I felt like I came into this thinking I'd learned something, and I learned a lot. Much more than I thought. I'm taking this course and setting myself up for the future. I want to still be involved in CrossFit when I'm not competing, whether it's coaching, owning an affiliate, coaching group classes like I do now, online programming. I want to stay involved and immersed in the space because I think it's such a cool space and there's so much to learn. So maybe I'm not applying this L2 stuff immediately, but I know it's going to set me up for a bright and successful future with whatever I want to do.
Fittest in 100 words.
Eat meat and vegetables, nuts and seeds, some fruit, little starch, and no sugar.
Maintenez les apports à un niveau qui fournit l'énergie nécessaire à l'activité physique sans entretenir la masse grasse.
주요 리프팅 동작을 연습하고 훈련합니다.
Clean, squat, presses, clean and jerk, and snatch.
Similarly, master the basics of gymnastics.
Pull-ups, dips, subidas a la cuerda, push-ups, sit-ups, presses to handstand, piruetas, volteretas, splits y planchas.
Bike, run, swim, row, etc. 5 to 6 times a week, hard and fast.
Mix these elements in as many
Combinations and patterns as creativity will allow.
Routine is defined.
ワークアウトは短く、高い運動強度で。
Aprenda e pratique novos esportes regularmente.
It's time to take a journey into the upside down here in San Jose. It's event 11 at the 2026 CrossFit Games from the SAP Center in the heart of the Silicon Valley, San Jose, California. I'm Sean Woodland with Chase Ingram. Mike Arsenault is down on the competition floor. We're about to see a movement that first showed up in 2011 and has gotten more and more difficult ever since. For more on that, let's bring in Mike Arsenault.
Well, thank you very much, John. You mentioned the upside down. We've been going upside down at the CrossFit Games since 2011 in a variety of variations. So we started with just a regular handstand walk back in 2011 for distance, and then we added the ramp, steps, obstacles, parallel bars in 2018, a handstand hold in 2020, freestanding handstand push-ups in 2021, and then a pirouette on the floor in 2022. We're going to combine the majority of these movements here in event number 11, really testing these athletes in the upside down.
Thank you, Mike. I will take movements I can't do for 500, please, Alex, and they're all in this event.
Yeah, that's going to be a big part of this one, and it is just a handstand walk course, but there is 6 sections that these athletes will have to navigate. Now, what's important is that each section has a tie break time attached to it, and it's going to get more difficult as you work your way down the course.
The mission brief, presented by Air National Guard. How can you be successful here?
Well, with these sections, if you know you're going to hit a section that you're going to struggle with, get there as fast as you can and get a tie break time. Rest more than you think. We've got a pirouette on a 6-inch riser. We have a press to handstand on the parallettes. Just like a legless rope climb, rest a little bit more than you want to make yourself successful.
We will have a total of 3 heats here for the men, 3 heats for the women. The men getting this kicked off. 10 athletes on the floor. Tudor Magda will be in lane number 5. He comes in 22nd place overall, but he can make up some ground here.
He can fly on his hands on flat ground. But the question is, how is he going to navigate the skill level of these obstacles?
Nick Matthew comes in 29th place overall. I don't think anybody expected him to be there in that spot at this point in the competition.
No, but in 2022, nobody expected him to do the press to handstand parallel walk either, and he was one of the only guys to do so that year.
Now, each section needs to be completed unbroken, basically between the yellow lines. If you fall, you have to go back to the beginning and start over.
Speaking of starting over, Luis Sellar had to start over because he had his hand on the line when he started.
Well, Tudor Magda is in the lead. He's in the middle of the floor. Now we do the 4 freestanding handstand push-ups. And Magda is finally going to kick down alongside Callum Clements. Magda back to work.
Now keep in mind, in these freestanding handstand push-ups, it's 20 feet of handstand walking per those sections.
Well, Nick Matthew and Ben Fowler are your leaders. Matthew back to work. Now they have to do the pirouette in the square. Hands come out for Nick Matthew. He's got to start over. Fowler continues. And now once he has to, he has to get to the 6-inch riser and do a pirouette as well. No requirement on the direction they have to turn. They just have to stay on the riser. Fowler is through. And then this is the crux of the event. This final movement.
This is where get your tie break time. A lot of people are going to get stuck on the press to handstand to parallel.
Now there may or may not be a side bet between some of the members of the staff here on how many men will be able to get this done, and there may or may not be a monetary number attached to that.
Only those that were in the trailer know exactly who the bet was for and by how much.
The Fowler has pressed himself up and out, and Fowler is in and will set the early time to beat at 150.18 seconds. Henrik Haapalainen will be the next man to finish. Magda has himself situated. Haapalainen is across, and Magda is through.
Tudor had tried twice to kick up and failed twice. Same thing with Fowler.
We still have a couple of guys stuck on the freestanding handstand push-ups. That's Luis Cuellar and Quinn Robinson. Everybody else is trying to work his way through these parallel bars.
Nick Matthew is struggling.
Well, Benjamin Reyes is now done.
Now, to get a picture of what this whole handstand walk course is meant to be, is that it's an increasingly difficult skill set that you're going to have to attempt while getting more fatigue down the line. This is no different than, say, a clean ladder of 10 at one weight, 8 at a heavier weight, 6 at a heavier weight, 4 until 2 at the heaviest weight. We just now have it in a gymnastics format.
Well, Spencer Panchik makes it through. Matthew finally got it figured out. He's across. Callum Clements and Callian Souza are both still out there. Clements is in lane number 4. He's closest to the screen in the black shorts. Souza is towards the top of the screen. Both of them taking a break. And in lane 6, that's Luis Cuellar, who is on his haunches waiting to attack this final movement. 6-minute time cap here, so these athletes are going to have plenty of time to try to figure this thing out. As in lane 7, Callian Souza is up and over, and he will get in.
We saw Clemens fail. You can see him in that squat position on the left side of the screen. And this is where you're going to have to rest more than you want to. He's already failed multiple times getting pinned in this inverted stuck position. And that little break might have paid off.
And Clemens is going to get up and over. So Callum Clemens is done. Leaves Cuellar and Robinson is the only two men left on the floor.
Robinson in the upper right corner of your screen is just struggling with the freestanding handstand push-up portion.
And we heard from Adrian Bosman when he was talking to the broadcast team about this event that the pirouette on that riser was giving some of the athletes
He said it was giving the athletes more fits than almost the press to handstand were.
Cuellar is through the pirouette. And he has about 40 seconds to try to figure out the press to handstand on this final portion of the event as Quinn Robinson is trying to get through those freestanding handstand push-ups.
Still in the first section. Oh, this is the furthest he's gotten so far.
Takes a bow to the crowd. He's going to call it as there's just 20 seconds remaining. It doesn't look like Cuellar is going to be able to get through. Ben Fowler takes the heat, 150.18 seconds. And Tudor Magna was able to finish in third, with Henrik Haapalainen taking second place in the heat.
There we started off strong. Some maybe a little too fast. Got a no rep early. But Fowler made his way through the course pretty seamlessly, as on his third attempt on the press to handstand, he was able to navigate across the parallel bars and have one of the only times under that 2-minute mark.
2 heats remain, and it's Ben Fowler, the only man in the heat number 1 to go sub 2 minutes, 150.18 seconds. Luis Cuellar and Quinn Robinson, the only 2 men who were not able to complete the entirety of the course inside the time cap. Heat 2 coming up next in event number 11. Two heats remain for the men in event 11 of 20, the penultimate event of day number 2. We're glad you're with us, everybody, inside the SAP Center in San Jose, California. Couldn't be simpler. Just get across the handstand walk obstacle course.
Yeah, how hard can it be? It's only some of the 5 hardest obstacles we've ever programmed at the CrossFit Games, and they're all smashed into one single event.
What's the mission brief?
Get yourself to a tie-break time. We've seen some athletes get stopped at certain positions. They should know what they're good at and what they're not. Whatever you're not good at, try to get there as fast as you can. Maybe you can separate yourself based off the time you got there. Rest more than you think. We've seen a lot of athletes get to this implement, this press to handstand and parallel bar walk. Give yourself a little time, a little rest, and make sure that you're prepared to get upside down and finish the race.
Second of 3 heats here in event 11. 10 men will be on the competition floor. Pat Vellner will be in lane number 3. Started the day in 22nd. He's moved up to 16th. Still has a lot of work to do, but moving the right direction.
Well, we still have a lot of events to do, and Pat Vellner, who's an ex-gymnast himself, better pulling than he is pressing, but this is not an event that he's never been poor at in the past.
Victor Hoffer is another man to keep an eye on here. 17th place overall. Very comfortable on his hands.
Victor Hoffer is the man to look out for in this entire field. If anyone has a home run chance for this particular event, it's that man right there. Tell you what, don't sleep on Guy Mejeros in this event.
Heat 2 underway. It's Ben Fowler with the top time with a mark of 1 minute 50.18 seconds. Victor Hoffer sprinted through that first round. He's already through now 2 of his freestanding handstand push-ups. He's in the middle of your screen.
If you followed Victor Hoffer, he did something. He did an obstacle course for Red Bull one time.
I mean, it's not even close right now. Hoffer is running away with this thing, and he's on his first pirouette, and we are now just hitting the 30-second mark. First pirouette is done. Hoffer to the riser.
Keep going.
Second one is done. And he went unbroken that whole way. And Guy Mejeros is in second.
Like I said,
sometimes you know what you're talking about.
Start the petition now.
That's a throwback. Hoffer is up and situated, and he's going to get up and over and smash the time to beat.
Oh my goodness.
105.62 seconds. Guy Mejeros is going to be the second one to the parallel bars. And first attempt for Mejeros looking like it is going to be enough. That's going to be good enough for second place in the event for Guy.
Don't sleep on Guy on a handstand walk course.
Ty Jenkins in lane 1. He was on the left side of your screen, just came crashing down. Pat Vellner in lane 3. Making his second attempt. Vellner having trouble getting himself situated. Jenkins can't figure it out. Nika Mazarazda was on his hands, but then couldn't hold it. Lane 2 is Dylan Hamming. And Hamming is up and over. He's had a good day today. Lanes 7 and 8. Hatfield and Mazarazda are through, along with lane 5, Bailey Martin. And I think it was Mazarazda who got the best of that race. Vellner is through. The Jenkins and Saxon Panchik, along with Anil Akai and Ty Jenkins. Pardon me, I already mentioned Jenkins. Akai is still out there, as now Panchik is through. So Jenkins and Akai, the last 2 men.
And this was the second part of the mission brief we talked about before the event. You have to rest when you don't want to. This isn't a movement where more effort is going to create a better result. You're just going to have to sit there and let your shoulders recover. And it's so hard to do. You see the clock ticking. You see athletes crossing the finish line. You see your spot dropping down the leaderboard. But you can't panic, and you just got to sit there and wait and allow your body to recover, because going over and over and over is only going to make it worse.
But Jenkins has it. And Ty Jenkins is through. Anil Akai has 2 minutes before we hit the time cap.
And Jenkins before that rested the longest that he had done of all the attempts he had, and it ended up working out.
"90 seconds to go for Akai. And he is able to hold it this time. And Anio Akai is close to getting into that ramp. And with that, the entirety of the second heat makes it through. And I know who's winning the bet right now. But Victor Hoffer, I mean, if you blinked, you may have missed this.
And he went end to end. Victor Hoffer up the top part of your screen, racing over the obstacle course. Freestanding handstand. Usually you'll see athletes try to kip out of that, and he's basically doing a strict press. Went unbroken to the pirouette, then to the riser. Maybe his only stumble, he almost fell outside his lane. Rested enough, got it on his first try on the press to handstand, and worked his way all the way down the ramp to set the time to beat, which I'm happy to be wrong here if I am. No one is beating in the next heat.
This would be his first career event win. 105.62 seconds. Guimarães will take second, and Dylan Hamming continues an impressive day number 2. He'll take third. And it was Mazarazza who won that close race with Hatfield and Martin. Less than a tenth of a second separating the three of them. Can anyone chase down Victor Hoffer? We'll find out in Heat 3. The answer is probably no.
The answer is no.
The battle for the event win may be done, but there's still a really good battle going on right now for the top spot in the overall standings as we approach the third and final heat of event 11 of 20 here at the 2026 CrossFit Games. Dallin Pepper's time on top of the overall leaderboard lasted one event. James Sprague back in the lead by 11 points. Justin Medeiros continues to climb. He's at 594 points with Jay Crouch and Roman Krennikov in 4th and 5th, respectively. Event description, it's a handstand walk obstacle course.
Which each obstacle, and there are 6 of them, gets more and more difficult as you work your way down the line. Not dissimilar from a clean ladder where the weights gets heavier. This is the handstand walk course where the skills get harder.
Take us through the Air National Guard mission brief for event 11.
There's a tie break after each section here. So if you know there's a section you're going to struggle with, get there as fast as you can. If there's a section you know you're not going to complete, definitely get there as fast as you can. But once you do, rest more than you think. We've seen several athletes panic on this final implement there in your screen on that press to handstand. Take your rest, let your body recover, and give it a good effort.
Top 10 men in the overall standings will be on the floor. Your overall leader, James Sprague, will be working out of lane 6. In lane 7, Justin Medeiros. He's one of 3 men in CrossFit Games history to win multiple titles of fittest man on earth, and he continues to move up the standings. Got to watch out for him.
He's looking more and more like himself in his championship days, and if he's gaining that confidence, that spells good news for Medeiros.
James Sprague regained the overall lead after the last event. And Dallin Pepper, who wore briefly, well, at least possessed the leader's jersey for one event, first time in his career. Looking to regain that lead, but he's going to need to beat Sprague and get some help here in the process. 100 points on the line. Those 100 points pretty much belong to Victor Hoffer at this point. I think the only way anyone's going to beat Hoffer is if they do that internet meme where they put the shirt on the bottom and the shorts on the top, and they just find a way to run down the course. Because
that'd be really awkward because nobody's wearing shirts.
Yes,
right
would
now.
be yes. Jay Crouch is your early leader, along with Ricky Garrard. Lanes 3 and 4 for them. There towards the middle part of your screen. Garrard is in the black, and Garrard is going to look to go unbroken here. Ricky came in 6th place overall with 535 points. Trailed Roman Krennikov by 10 for 5th. And Garrard is through.
Now, I know we're talking about Victor Hoffer's time, but another time to really put a lot of respect on is Guy Majero's time of 1:30.
Garrard through the first pirouette. You know, at this point in the event, Victor Hoffer was on the parallel bars and was now done.
Oh, Jay Crouch got a no rep from touching the box on that first pirouette.
Here goes Garrard on his second pirouette on that 6-inch riser. Left side of your screen, he's your leader. He'll get through that. And Ricky will be the first man to the parallel bars here in the 3rd and final heat.
So now you got your tie break time. Now you got to take your rest.
Dallin Pepper got up on his hands, and James Sprague immediately followed. Now Sprague with a no rep, Pepper with a no rep. Crouch and Medeiros look like they're going to get through this thing pretty cleanly. Medeiros is on the right in the light blue shorts.
Ricky
and
failed
down to the parallel bars.
Ricky failed his first attempt and his second.
Sprague is through. Ricky going again.
And just failed his third, and that's the panic I warned you about.
Colton Mertens at the bottom of your screen has gotten himself inverted, and Colton Mertens is looking to win this heat. Mertens is up and over, and Colton Mertens is in, and I have no clue.
Jay Crouch!
By 1/100th of a second over Medeiros. Mertens is going to take 3rd, and Garrard in 4th. 1/100th of a second. That is less than a blink of an eye.
What a finish!
And now Sprague is in as Pepper is still on the floor.
I tell you what, though, James Sprague finished and was so fired up with how he did relative to what he thought. He didn't press the buzzer.
That is part of the event. And now down in lane 9, Jason Hopper is done. What a finish between Crouch, Mertens, and Medeiros. And Pepper is now in. So Justin Medeiros trailed Dallin Pepper by just 9 points for second. Very likely that Justin Medeiros will be in the top 2 as Adler finishes along with Feibig, heading into the 12th event and the final event of this evening.
He was only 20. Medeiros was only 20 points back of James Sprague for the overall lead. Now, James Sprague had a great finish, but he also didn't finish the race and may have, we're not sure, could have lost vital positions just by not pressing the buzzer at the end, which is required for the finish of every event.
Roman Krenikov is now through, and James Sprague with a little bit of a mental error may have cost him some points. Jay Crouch picks up the heat win. Victor Hoffer gets the event win, and it wasn't even close. But Ricky Garrard, for the second straight event, goes out hot early and just couldn't hang on.
And he was in a good position. We said this at the beginning, is obviously get a tie-break time if you think you're going to get stuck, but all of these men were able to finish this. So there was nothing they needed to race to in terms of a tie-break time, as Ricky Garrard was well ahead of the field going into the press to handstand. And that final race, I tell you what, Colton Mertens finally had himself a good handstand walk event.
It was 0.2 of a second that separated three people.
Well,
That's how, look how close it was between Crouch, Medeiros, and Mertens. Just 1/100th of a second between Crouch and Medeiros. Victor Hoffer gets the win, and it's Maieros and Fowler rounded out the top three. Let's give it to Mike Arsenault. He's down on the competition floor with your event winner, Victor Hoffer.
Victor, what a performance. You were 40% faster than Guy, who finished in second place. I know you have a gymnastics background. You are a national level competitor in France. How often do you still practice skills like that, or are they just part of you now, like riding a bike?
I started gymnastics when I was 3 years old until 16 at a good level. And I think lately I don't train too much on my hands because I know it's my wheelhouse, so it's good.
It was definitely in your wheelhouse. That's an understatement. This is technically the second time you've qualified for the CrossFit Games. You were unable to compete in 2024 because of an injury. Now that you're here and you've had a chance to compete 11 times in front of this crowd, does it meet your expectations coming in of what this experience would be like?
Yeah, definitely. I'm very happy to be here, very grateful. And yeah, you guys are incredible. Thank you so much.
Great performance. Victor Hoffer, 100 points on event number 11.
Well, Victor Hoffer winds up picking up the event win, as there was a photo finish between Crouch, Medeiros, and Mertens. Women coming up next here in event number 11. So stay with us, everybody, as our coverage continues at the 2026 CrossFit Games. Second day of individual competition at the 2026 CrossFit Games rolls on, as we are in the penultimate event for the individuals here on Friday in San Jose, California. Thanks for staying with us, everybody. I'm Sean Woodland with Chase Ingram. Bella Martin is down on the competition floor. Event number 11, something we've seen before, but maybe not in this format, and definitely not at this difficulty level. It's a handstand obstacle course.
We have in their parts, but never all together in one event. We've got a handstand walk obstacle course that gets increasingly difficult as you move from section 1 to section 6, ending with that press to handstand parallel walk to the finish line.
Mission Brief presented by Air National Guard. Take us through it, Cap.
Honestly, not as many athletes getting stuck to where we thought they were, but if you know there's going to be an implement that you are not going to fare well in, get there as fast as you can and get a tie-break time. There's one after every section. Once you get to that position where you think you're going to have some trouble, rest a little bit more than you want to or than you think you should, and allow yourself to recover and give your best opportunity to attack the implement.
First of 3 heats for the women. Alexis Raptis is in lane number 10 and looking to start moving her way up the overall standings.
Alexis Raptis, very good inverted, especially when we're talking about pressing. However, has not had the weekend so far that she was hoping to, finding herself in this first heat.
Heat 1 underway, same rules as the men. You have to do each section unbroken. And that's between the yellow lines. If you come off of your hands at any point between those yellow lines, you have to go back to the nearest yellow line where you started. And Annika Greer in lane 5 in the all pink is your early leader here.
Everyone broke after the first section, and Annika Greer was the only one to advance through the freestanding handstand walks second section.
Greer back on her hands now to her second set of 4 freestanding handstand push-ups. One remains for Annika Greer. And now 2 pirouettes, the first on flat ground, the second on that riser. Lanes 9 and 10, McGonigal and Raptis are close behind Greer. Also down in lane number 2, Lydia Fish towards the front.
Keep your eye out for Lydia Fish. She's being very conservative in her breaks and her rest, but she's very good with gymnastics movements.
Greer gets herself up to the riser and not able to complete that pirouette. Here comes Lydia Fish. Fish nearly stumbled and she can't get through either. So Raptis and McGonigal now down in lanes 9 and 10 are taking their turns, and the two of them, I take that back, it was McGonigal who got through first. Now Greer has completed her second pirouette, and she will join McGonigal on the parallel bars. Lydia Fish is done. And Ella Wilkinson is through.
McGonigal taking her time, top part of your screen.
Alexis Raptis, upper left-hand part of your screen in the all black, is now on the parallel bars as well. And Greer is going to be the first woman to make this attempt and not able to press it out. And now she has it, but unable to hold. Fish can't make it. And we've got a lot of shaking out of the arms and hands right now. We still have some women who are stuck back on the freestanding handstand push-ups. Lydia Fish, meanwhile, has figured out the parallel bars. Fish is up and over, and she is in.
Meticulous, calculated, taking her time, resting like she should, and it paid off for Lydia Fish.
Alexis Raptis is going to beat Annika Greer to the buzzer to take second place in the heat. And now it's Lucy McGonigal who's trying to get herself inverted. Miriam Von Rohr almost was there. She's in the middle of your floor going to the chalk, or middle of the screen going to the chalk bucket.
We have 4 women trying to get through this last obstacle. We've got 3. You can see in the background still trying to work through that first section of freestanding handstand push-ups.
Hannah Black, Erica Folo, and Rachel Noel have yet to get through their first set of 4 freestanding handstand push-ups, as in lane 8. Janie Chevery is up and over.
That was a good save.
McGonigal making another attempt. Far right side of your screen, couldn't hold it. Miriam Von Rohr can't figure it out. Inside 2 minutes to go before we hit the time cap. Wilkinson can't lock out the press.
And this is what we're talking about, the time cap being important, because if there is 5 to 6 athletes who can't complete this section at the end, getting there is now your most important task to get that tie break time. You'll get a time after you complete every successful section on the handstand walk course.
Meanwhile, that cheer you're hearing is for Rachel Noel in the background, who got through her first set of 4 freestanding handstand push-ups. She's in the background in the long pants. Here's Wilkinson with another attempt. Can't figure it out. And about a minute to go before we hit the time cap. Miriam Von Rohr is up and over, and she will get in with time to spare. Ten seconds to go as Wilkinson and McGonigal will have about one more attempt. McGonigal almost had it. Lydia Fish, 2:36.49 seconds, will take the heat. And was probably listening to you.
Listen, Sean, every once in a while.
I want to give you credit when it's due. Because when you get it right, you get it right, man.
Hey, but when I get it wrong, I also I do a good job getting it wrong. But yeah, Lydia Fish, you got to be controlled. You got to be calculated. You got to be dumb, or you got to be tough if you're going to be dumb. But I don't know which one that is pertaining to me. But Lydia Fish, bottom part of your screen in lane number 2, taking her time after each section, giving her time to rest, allowing herself to focus on each implement. This stumble was her first attempt at the riser. Open the door for Lucy McGonigal in the purple and out Alexis Raptis in the black, and allow them to get to the parallettes first. Lucy McGonigal, however, started struggling, and that opened things up for Lydia Fish, who on her first try was able to get herself a heat win coming out of heat number 1.
Lydia Fish, 2:36.49 seconds as half the field got through the parallel bars. Alexis Raptis edges out Annika Greer. Janie Chevry and Miriam Von Rohr, the other 2 women to conquer the entirety of this obstacle course. Heat 2. Coming up next, we'll have it for you when we come back to the 2026 CrossFit Games. One heat down, 2 remain here in event number 11. As we work our way through the second day of individual competition at the 2026 CrossFit Games. Total of 20 events. And we still have one more after this, but the task at hand, a handstand walk with a bunch of obstacles out there.
Task at hand, stand walk. That's right.
Oh,
We got to
well done.
No, it's terrible, guys. I should be fired for that one. Handstand walk course across the length of the SAP Center. The obstacles get more difficult as you work your way from set 1 to set 6.
Mission Brief presented by Air National Guard. Keys to the event.
And we saw it happen. If you get your tie break time to an implement you're not going to be good at, that might separate yourself from the field. But when you get there, rest a little bit more than you think if you want to be successful.
10 women in the second of 3 heats, all trying to track down Lydia Fish's top time of 2 minutes 36.49 seconds. Heat 2 underway. All these sections need to be completed unbroken, and that's denoted by the yellow lines on the floor. If you come down off your hands between the yellow lines, you got to retreat to the nearest yellow line and start over. Paige Rogers in lane 6 in the pink top, black shorts is on to her first set of freestanding handstand push-ups. Elisa Fuliano right next to her in the all black.
And Fuliano
is really making quick work of this course, and she will stumble and have to retreat.
And that was just a little too fast, a little out of control. You don't need to, like we said, you do need a tie break time. But a little stumble here is just going to add to the fatigue level.
And Fuliano has things sorted out. She is a rep ahead of Rogers as the two of them head to their first pirouette. Fuliano back to work. First of 2 pirouettes, no problem for her. And she'll work her way to the riser. Trying to track down Lydia Fish's top time in the upper left-hand part of your screen as Rogers is through her first pirouette. No problem for Fuliano, and now to the parallel bars. More than a minute before we hit Lydia Fish's top time. Rogers is through as well.
Now, what Lydia Fish did is she bided her time to make sure her shoulders were recovered before her first attempt.
Fuliano almost had it.
I thought she was going to pull that out.
Did too.
Now see, Fuliano's going right back into it.
Well, Abby Doman is now onto the parallel bars, and here's Paige Rogers.
Fuliano just went up too soon.
Rogers up, over, and in for the heat win and the new top time. 1:56.58 seconds. Fuliano is done. Doman, Meha, and Kerstetter are all on the parallel bars. Kerstetter on the far right. Meha next to her just failed, and Doman, the bottom left-hand part of your screen, approaching the parallel bars as Burgess Bjornsdottir will join them. Doman almost had it. Meha couldn't press it out. Kerstetter now another attempt, and she won't be able to make it. Here's Doman.
Now watch what she'll do. She'll split out wide and then reposition herself. And that was probably her best attempt.
Two women so far in this heat have finished. Matilda Garnis in lane 9 just completed her first pirouette. Saria Meha got really close. And now Doman in lane 3. She will make it. Kerstetter trying to press her way out. She's just stuck in the bottom there. Now Meha with another attempt.
The trick.
Wurs can't get there.
The trick on this turnaround is you see some of these girls are getting pinned really, really deep into that parallel in that inverted position. And it's this healthy balance of trying to stay tucked, which makes the turn easier, but staying high enough to make that press out not as much of a deficit as you see some of these athletes doing.
All the women in this heat, except for Holly Tynan, have made it to the parallel bars. Tynan is still on her second set of freestanding handstand push-ups as Kerstetter with another failed attempt. Bjornsdottir can't lock it out. Top of the screen in lane 10, Miley Wade now far on the far right side of your screen. We're inside 2 minutes to go before we hit the time cap.
And this is where those tiebreakers are so valuable, because if none of these athletes are able to complete this section, how quickly they got here is going to be the separation on the leaderboard.
Kerstetter looks to be getting herself, like you mentioned, in a good position to press out, but just can't lock it out. Ooh.
And what I'm starting to see is that some of these athletes are pressing up to try to get to that handstand position, but are trying to walk before they can stabilize that handstand position.
Aileen Wurz in lane 4 is in. With plenty of time to spare, inside 5 minutes for Wurz. Four women have finished inside the 6 minute time cap here. Paige Rogers with the top time, the only woman so far to go sub 2 minutes. 156.58 seconds. Birgis Bjornsdottir on the left side of your screen. Trying to get herself steadied. And down in lane 7, Surya Meha is over. Meha's going to win the race. Bjornsdottir is in. 30 seconds to go before we hit the cap. Wade, Garnis, Kerstetter, and Tynan, the four women left on the floor.
Oh, Tynan just failed her last freestanding handstand push-up.
And that is the time cap. And we have a new leader heading into the third and final heat, and it's Paige Rogers at 156.58 seconds. Rogers and Fuliano battling earlier, but it was Rogers who got the parallel bars figured out the quickest.
And it was Rogers who took a page at the Lydia Fish playbook that was a bit more conservative in her pace and intensity, working her way down the field, where Fuliano got through sections quickly, but then would have a no rep because she was going too fast on a press to handstand. Fuliano, who also tried to kick up a little too soon after failing a rep, let that open the door up for Paige Rogers to sneak just ahead of her. There's a balance here, that in technique versus intensity thing we always see at the level 1, making sure we're moving well, but we're also moving fast enough to put ourselves ahead of the pack.
6 women in that second of 3 heats finished the entirety of the course inside the 6 minute time cap. Kerstetter, Garnis, Wade, and Tynan, the only 4 to get capped. Third and final heat coming up next. We are set for the third and final heat of event number 11 of 20 here of the 2026 CrossFit Games. Glad you're with us inside the SAP Center in San Jose, California, everybody, as we take a look at the overall leaderboard. Coming into this event, Amy Kringle is now 58 points up on Lucy Campbell in second place. Maddie Sturt clinging to third, but only by 7 points over Emma Lawson. Alex Gazan has 527 points, and she is certainly not safe as far as that spot is concerned, because there is a lot of work left. The matter at hand is the handstand walk course.
We took a little piece of history over the years of the handstand walk course and put them all into one long section. as each round or section gets more difficult as you work your way down.
Take us through the mission brief here.
Look, if you can't get the press to handstand, get there as fast as you can. Get that tie break time. Once you get there, you fail once, rest more than you think. Allow yourself to rest, recover, and give yourself a solid opportunity to try to hit that press to handstand walk.
10 women in this third and final heat. Danielle Brandon will be in lane number 1 and could do to this event what Victor Hoffer did back for the men.
All eyes should be on Danielle Brandon. She is the best handstand walk course athlete we've ever had on the women's side. And you're right, Sean. But one athlete to look out for and not sleep on is Ariel Lowen. She is just as good on her hands. We'll just have to see how they navigate the competition floor. Haley Adams still sitting in a top 10 position. Also good on her hands, not quite as good as Brandon or Lowen, but you never know what happens to a press to handstand.
And as expected, Danielle Brandon at the bottom of your screen is out front early, and good luck catching Danielle Brandon. Ariel Lowen currently sits in second place as Brandon is through her first and now second of 4 freestanding handstand push-ups in this section. Everyone else except for Lowen is taking a break. Brandon continues to work.
You got to move fast, but you have to stay in control. We've seen a couple athletes that moved well but lost control and had to go back a section.
Brandon trying to get herself situated, and that was a save from Danielle Brandon. And she will come down, take a quick break before her first pirouette. Brandon is way out in front as she gets to her second pirouette, able to hang on to that. And Brandon is through in 1 minute, 8 seconds.
Now here's the thing, in 2022, when this movement debuted, Danielle Brandon didn't get to it yet.
Brandon trying to press out here, having some problems.
She's going wide in more of a straddle position, but I believe just tucking those knees into your chest and rotating around is going to be something she's going to need to do.
Now Lucy Campbell's through.
Now the time to beat's going to go by.
If Paige Rogers going to pick up the win, Brandon is really struggling with this.
And Brandon this is her 4th attempt at this. On the right side, Lucy Campbell has yet to try. She's been resting for the last 45 seconds to give herself one good opportunity here.
Now it's wide open here in the final heat. Paige Rogers with the event win. Alex Gazan couldn't press it out. Amy Kringle has her hands on the parallel bars in the white top and red shorts.
And this will be Lucy's first attempt. Danielle Brandon cannot figure this out.
Gazan had it and then fell. Well, Lucy Campbell's talking to her judge about something.
She's talking to her judge about how she has to utilize her legs on the press to handstand.
Lawson is up and through the parallel bars, and Emma Lawson's going to take the heat. Lawson came in 4th place overall, only 7 points back at Sturt for 3rd. Kringle looks like she has herself situated as Gazan is up and over. Gazan's going to take 2nd place in the heat, and here comes Kringle. Campbell and Sturt still out there, and now times from prior heats are starting to factor in. This could not be going better for Amy Kringle right now, as in lane 10, Kyra Milligan is through. Danielle Brandon has finally figured it out, and Brandon makes it in.
That was huge for Kringle. But for Alex Gazan's chances to move herself into a top 3 position, even better.
And now Ariel Lowen. is up and over, leaves Adams, Turner, Campbell, and Sturt all still on the floor. Sturt and Campbell again came in third and second respectively, and Kringle already had a 58-point lead on Campbell for first place.
Lucy, she's getting a turnover, just getting stuck on that press out. Right there. Just can't finish the last couple, and she knows it. She's so close, but this is also moving her further and further away from Amy Kringle.
Haley Adams getting set for another attempt. Now look, we still have 9 events to go here. But with the lead that Kringle is building, it's going to start taking a team effort to try and cut into that deficit. I mean, Campbell and Surter are going to need to start hitting some home runs and get help in the process.
58 points was a lot coming into this, and it's going to stretch to possibly 70 to 80. We still have one more event to go tonight.
Sturt can't get there. Adams can't complete it as Ellie Turner is on her second and final pirouette. Campbell bails out. And this is really going to bode well for Amy Kringle, who, as you've been mentioning the entire weekend, does great to start, but it's the back half, and right now she has some insurance points in her pocket.
Very much so, and very precious points. But that said, don't build a buffer in hopes you don't fail or falter towards the end. Just keep building it as the weekend goes on.
Well, Emma Lawson may have put herself in the top 3 as she wins the heat. We still have one event to go this evening. Danielle Brandon, as expected, had the lead, but the parallel bars really threw a monkey wrench into this whole thing.
It really did, and it wasn't a product of her getting there too fast or getting there too soon. And she had a couple of incredible saves. I do not know how her feet did not touch the ground there. She had to move her hand just to save that. And then another save that she had to do, splitting her legs back and forth just to keep herself from falling off the riser. But then once she got there, the parallel bars just posed a difficult task for Danielle Brandon. And Emma Lawson, welcome back to the CrossFit Games, girl. You're now potentially sitting in a podium position going into the final event today.
Paige Rogers picks up her first career event win at the CrossFit Games, the only athlete to go sub 2 minutes. Elisa Fuliano, that's her best finish of the competition. Lydia Fish is going to take third, followed by Raptis and Annika Greer. Amy Kringle, your overall leader, good enough for 8th place. Another top 10 finish. Let's send it down to Bella Martin with your event winner, Paige Rogers.
Paige, it has been an incredible journey for you over the last few years. You've just made it back to the CrossFit Games, and you just had your first ever event win. Tell me about some of your new perspective going into this season.
Yeah, I mean, becoming a mom has changed everything for me, becoming a mom and a wife, and I feel like I've just grown so much physically and mentally over the last 3 years that I'm just handling it so much better being here on the big stage, and I'm just so thankful for everything.
The gymnast to elite CrossFit pipeline is pretty incredible. There are undoubtedly thousands of girls around the world watching you compete now. How would you encourage them to continue to chase after their dreams?
Yeah, I mean, I think women especially are just so capable, and I hope that I can represent that for young women, and especially my daughter now that I'm a mom. And I think women should just go out there and chase their dreams no matter how hard it might look.
Well, there's one more woman I want to give credit to. It's your mom, Laura. Tell me about the relationship that you guys have together and how CrossFit's brought you even closer together as mom and daughter.
Yeah, my mom's amazing. She's like my best friend. And she's helping out a ton this weekend with Oakley. We literally could not do it without her because my husband's competing as well. But her doing CrossFit as well, we've bonded through that, and she understands the sport a lot better. So she's very supportive of me, but I'm just so, so thankful for her.
Great job, Paige. Oakley, I hope you're asleep. Well done.
Thank you.
Event win for Paige Rogers. But it's Amy Kringle who is the biggest beneficiary of what just took place in event 11. One event remains before we close out the second day of competition here at the 2026 CrossFit Games. So stay with us, everybody, as our coverage continues from San Jose, California and the SAP Center. final event of the second day of competition for the individuals chosen by you, the fans. And we are set to get things going here on Friday night inside the SAP Center. Thanks everybody for being with us. I'm Sean Woodland with Chase Ingram, and Mike Arsenault is down on the competition floor. We're going to bring him in here in just a second. This is the one you wanted, Chase.
It is the one I wanted. The one I wanted, and maybe the one the athletes didn't. But this Hopper event, programmed by Tia Claire Toomey, selected by the fans, 3 rounds for time, 21 toes to bar, into 7 unbroken power snatches, 7 unbroken hang snatches, and 7 unbroken snatches at 95 pounds, all to be done in a 6-minute time cap window.
Mission Brief is presented by Air National Guard. Give us your keys for this event.
It's going to get really nasty down the end. You need to be efficient over intense. You need to make sure you're moving well, not just moving fast, but manage your grip, because these unbroken snatches are going to blow that up.
There are going to be 3 heats of 10 men to kick us off here. All of these men trying to work their way into the top 20 and closer to a spot possibly inside the final heat. And there is still a lot of points out there up for grabs. Heard Chase mention that Tia Toomey is responsible for this test, and she is joining Mike Arsenault for this first heat. Mike?
Well, thank you, Sean and Chase. Take the rest of the heat off because we have a new broadcast team. I'm doing play-by-play. Tia is taking over color commentary. We're right on the floor. We have Australian snacks. It's event number 12, Tia, here at the 2026 CrossFit Games. You obviously designed the event. What went into this process?
Oh, so many hours. Just, I don't know how Dave Castro does it. No, but honestly, it was so much fun. I love the whole concept. Should I be pausing? Sorry, I'm a bit of a rookie when it comes to broadcasting.
As an 8-time champ, you can start. If it was Chase, we tell him to be quiet until the start of the event. You can keep going.
Okay. But when, Dave had this whole concept about, the 3 of us programming it and, picking it out like the old school days, like that was really, really cool. And because, you want like, the workout was going to be voted by the community, so like stakes were on the line, you wanted to win it, and I feel like this was my opportunity to compete, even though I haven't been able to compete this weekend.
So you can't turn that off, even if you're not competing on the floor in terms of the event design. So we're seeing the first 10 athletes here taking on the toes to bar, which they did earlier today, but with the weight vest, so a bit of a different wrinkle. When you went into this event, is this something that you're thinking of what these athletes are going to be facing, or did you design this? Is this a wheelhouse workout, do you think, for yourself if you were on the floor?
Okay, so basically, I think that we have to really consider what the athletes have done today and what they got tomorrow, because you don't want to bury them, right? So they have heavy snatches tomorrow in the snatch ladder. They had the toes bar. It was only 30, but it was with a weighted vest. And, they've actually done 11 events already, and we're technically day 2 of the CrossFit Games. So I wanted to make sure that it was light. I actually had initially programmed it a little bit heavier, but with the transitions, with the time cap of 6 minutes and, kind of some feedback from like how the demo team went, we lightened it a little bit.
What about the unbroken wrinkle? Because that's interesting, because we've had a lot of grip fatigue a little bit in this day of competition for these athletes. So where did the unbroken wrinkle come in for you?
Well, we are at the CrossFit Games, right? So, Dave loves a little bit of a twist. As much as we had to really think about like the athletes and, what's going to help them be able to, be okay tomorrow, I wanted to make sure that, like, it was still interesting for the crowd as well. So, you know, you make it light. It shouldn't be too bad. It's just a bit spicy. Obviously, it's going to be a bit of a forearm grind. And also trying to think of like old school CrossFit, keep to that tradition, and traditional CrossFit, you know, your 21:15:9 is a regular thing. Because it's only a 6-minute time cap, I thought, okay, let's do like 21 and then 21 broken up, changing up the barbell itself. And also making sure that, you know, like that grip is challenged, but you have to go unbroken before you can transition beforehand.
Now, with that 6-minute time cap, that the restriction that Dave put on for this event, how do you kind of work the math of, okay, if I have 3 rounds and the 21:59, are you going through that in your head as if you were taking on those movements?
Yeah, for sure. I think when programming anything, you do have to have a lot of experience, and, you know, I know how long it should take someone 21 toes to bar, and then you have a little bit of grace because of the fatigue. It's the last workout of the day. And then also, you know, how light it is. Like, these athletes, they're so used to this type of workout. So, you know, it's only fitting to, I suppose, you know, challenge them to actually, hey, you got to go unbroken. Let's see who wants it the most. And also, I think the crowd will find it a lot more entertaining as well.
So you had your programming hat on. Let's put your prediction hat on a little bit. So we have 30 men, 30 women. So no, I'm not going to who's going to win. So we have 60 athletes. Did you design this with the thought that we're going to have all 60 complete this, or is there a chance that we might see some time caps in this event?
No, I think that there might be some time caps just purely based on fatigue and how those athletes are feeling. You know, like we are at the CrossFit Games, they've already been put through the ringer already. So, you know, I am expecting some people not to make it through, but I think we also have to challenge ourselves. That's the only way to get better, and you know, I think people can like level up and see how good they are and how badly they really want it.
Well, I'm sure there's lots of moms watching this right now who were CrossFitters before having kids and trying to return to CrossFit postpartum. Obviously not at your level, winning the CrossFit Games 8 times. But what advice do you have, or how has your journey been returning to training since having your second child?
It's been great. You know, for me, sorry, I'm a bit distracted. But for me, you know, it's a part of my lifestyle. I have such a great supportive family. So, you know, when I need that time to go to the gym, I definitely have family to lean on. But also the kids come and hang out at the gym as well. So that's been really good. And I'm very blessed to have very patient babies. So they've allowed me to be able to go to the gym on a regular basis and do what I love as well.
How about this for timing? Callum Clements looked like he's about to put the finishing touches for Heat 1, event number 12, designed by Tia Toomey. 16 seconds on the time cap, and it looks like this was well programmed, Tia, because it looks like everyone is going to be very close, right up against the time cap. Appreciate the time, Tia. Thanks for programming this workout. Thanks for being a part of this community, and just really, it's great to have you here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
As Heat 1 comes to a close for event number 12, the secondary broadcast booth. T, I think it's fair to say we'll pass things back to Sean and Chase.
Okay.
All right, guys, take it away. You're in trouble for next year. We have a new dream team.
Oh, man. Well,
it's been fun while it lasted, guys.
Fired again.
Yeah, yeah, fired. Not again.
Oh, man, I just got here. Callum Clements has your time to beat at 5:44.55 seconds. Chase, hell of a job. Be back for Heat number 2 next. It's the final event of day 2 of competition for the individuals at the 2026 CrossFit Games. It was chosen by you, the fans, and designed by 8-time CrossFit Games champion Tia Toomey. It is the Hopper 2026.
3 rounds for times, 21 toes to bar, 7 unbroken power snatches, 7 unbroken hang snatches, and then 7 unbroken squat snatches for that final set, all at 95 pounds.
Mission brief presented by Air National Guard. Take us through it, man not named Tia Toomey.
This is one of those events that the time compression of the cap is going to make you move fast, but you have to make sure you need to move efficiently, not out of control. Sloppy movements, sloppy reps, massive fatigue on the grip. And that's exactly what you need to manage throughout the process. Hanging from the pull-up bar for 63 toes to bar, onto the barbell for 63 different reps of snatches is going to blow that grip up in a big way.
Second of 3 heats, 10 men on the competition floor. There's a barbell, so Guimaeros, most likely a happy man here. It's how he manages the toes to bar that needs to be seen.
And that's coming to the efficiency component of what we just talked about. Guy coming off a great handstand walk, got himself 100 points in an event that maybe most people wouldn't have expected. But Guy is going to be good on the rig, but he's going to be better on the barbell. You're talking about a man who is the best technical Olympic lifter in the sport. The man was built for this type of movement, but can he manage his workload and fatigue to maximize what he's best at?
Second heat of event 12 of 20 is underway, and it's Callum Clements who has the top time from heat number 1, 5:44.55 seconds. 21 toes to bar to kick us off.
Should take between 40 to 45 seconds, and when we talk about efficiency over intensity, is that having this nice, long, smooth kip you see from Guy Milheiros and Victor Hoffer opting to take a break. They're moving well, they're not out of control. Once they get to the barbell, same thing applies.
42 reps per round for a total of 126. Vellner and a whole host of competitors onto the barbell at about the same time. Vellner 18th place overall coming into the event, started the day in 22nd.
Clemens was done at this first round at 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Dylan Hamming is your leader right now through 35 of the 42 reps in this opening round. There's Nika Mazarazda. As Hamming in lane 9 is on his final rep. And Hamming, top of your screen, advances his barbell along with Panchik, Vellner, and Hoffer. Happelainen there as well, along with Bailey Martin. Mazarazda and Mayeros working his way back to the pull-up bar for the second set of 21 toes to bar.
Also went unbroken on his first round. A lot of athletes did. We did see Victor Hoffer and Guy Milheiros break once in that first set at 21. And it's not the worst strategy. If you look at Callum Clements' splits, he was 1:30, 2 minutes, and then 2:15 on the last round. You have to average sub 2 minutes if you want to beat the time cap.
Austin Hatfield has overtaken Hamming for the lead. And back to the barbell for the second time. Here comes Hamming in second place. Happelainen, Hoffer, Bailey Martin, and Vellner, and Panchik all close behind the men fighting for the lead right now. That's Hatfield and Hamming.
Now remember, it's 7 unbroken power snatches into 7 unbroken hang power snatches into 7 unbroken squat snatches.
Austin Hatfield was there first, took a second to chalk up his hands. He's back to work. 84 reps will signify the end of round 2. Hatfield's 10 reps away. top three men on the screen right now. Austin Hatfield on the left, Hamming on the right, but Vellner and Hoffer's right next to Hatfield, are also pushing for the lead here.
Hoffer's taking a little bit less rest than Austin Hatfield is between movements. And we know Hamming can move a bar pretty well. He did it just an event ago.
Vellner done along with Hoffer, Hatfield, Bailey Martin, and Haapelainen. So Hamming starting to fall back a little bit as we hit the third and final round. Back to the pull-up bar for 21 more reps. There is Pat Vellner making his 10th and final appearance as an individual at the CrossFit Games.
There shouldn't be any issue with 21 for Pat Vellner as he takes a quick break. Same thing for Victor Hoffer. Looks like Austin Hatfield took his first break on the toes bar. He's been unbroken the last 2 rounds, but he's slowing him down on the barbell.
Hoffer's now 7 reps away, now 5. He's got to get to the 105 rep mark to close out his final set of toes bar. Hoffer's on the right side of your screen in the blue shorts, no shirt. And he is done. And Victor Hoffer, who won the handstand obstacle course, in the lead here, followed by Vellner and Haapelainen. Vellner in the background there, top of your screen. Hatfield working his way to the barbell along with Bailey Martin, Mazarazda, Hamming, and Panchik, all coming down the floor as well. Hoffer threw his first set of 7 power snatches. Now to the hang snatches. Vellner on to his second set of 7. Hoffer got right to work. Time to beat's going to fall here as Hoffer moves into the final station.
He's got to be careful with that last lockout.
Here comes Vellner to join Hoffer on the squat snatches. Final rep for Victor Hoffer. And Victor Hoffer is going to take the heat and set the new top time at 5:19.79 seconds. Pat Vellner trying to lock up second place. He's got some company. Vellner's done, and he is in. Bailey Martin looking to be the next man to finish. Martin is across. Here comes Maeros.
Man, Guy made up so much ground in that last round.
Hatfield, Panchik, Mazarazda. Tudor Magda came across. Haapelainen is through, and Hamming is done. But Dylan Hamming, who was in the lead early, winds up finishing 10th in the heat. And Victor Hoffer trying to bring home yet another event win. 5:19.79 seconds for Hoffer with 1 heat remaining.
Victor Hoffer in that center lane in lane number 5. Started off with 1 break. Austin Hatfield to his left in lane number 4 went unbroken. And Dylan Hamming was a part of that crew as well. Cycling the barbell very nicely in the first round. Started slow in the second round. And then in that third round, Victor Hoffer just smashed that barbell to get him the heat win.
5:19.79 seconds, your new top time heading into the third and final heat. Patrick Vellner is going to take second. Bailey Martin edges out Guy Maeros for third, and Austin Hatfield by 0.6 of a second over Saxon Panchik for 5th. Third and final heat for the men. Coming up next as they close out day 2 of competition here at the 2026 CrossFit Games. we are set for the third and final heat of event 12 of 20 as day 2 of individual competition comes to a close here at the 2026 CrossFit Games inside the SAP Center in San Jose, California. Your overall standings: James Sprague is still your overall leader, 664 points, but look who continues to climb up the overall standings. Justin Medeiros with 648 points. 2 former champions sit atop the overall standings, with Jay Crouch clinging to a 4-point lead over Dallin Pepper for third. It's the Hopper 2026. It was designed by Tia Toomey and chosen by you, the fans.
3 rounds for time, 21 toes to bar, 7 unbroken power snatches, 7 unbroken hang power, followed by 7 squat snatches, all at 95 pounds.
Top 10 men in the overall standings taking the floor here in this third and final heat, all trying to chase down Victor Hoffer's top time of 5 minutes 19.79 seconds. Jay Crouch in lane 4 trying to hold off Dallin Pepper and hang on to a spot inside the top 3.
It's a good one for Crouch. I've been saying all weekend he's going to do very well when it comes to an event like this.
Justin Medeiros is making a methodical climb up the leaderboard. When he won 2 titles, it was all about consistency, and he is mirroring those performances here tonight.
It could be an opportunity that Justin might jump James, depending on what happens at the end of this event.
And it's James Sprague who will be in lane 6. He's in the red shorts. Been the leader for the majority of this competition. Surrendered it earlier today to Dallin Pepper, but then regained it. Looking for his second CrossFit Games championship.
James Sprague back in the white leader jersey, holding on to it for one more event. We weren't sure what was going to shake out after the handstand walk, but do not sleep on Justin Medeiros in the center part of your screen. He's going to hang on to the rig and he's going to hang on to the bar, but it's Jay Crouch at the barbell first.
Colton Mertens at the bottom of your screen was the first man actually to get to the barbell, but he has a bunch of heavy hitters hot on his heels as Mertens advances his barbell into the hang power snatches. Sprague, Crouch, Medeiros, and Pepper are all right behind him. Pepper on the bottom, Mertens on the bottom left-hand part of your screen into his squat snatches. He's even with Sprague and Crouch.
And Crouch and Sprague actually might have a rep on Colton Mertens, and it's amazing to see how well James Sprague can cycle a barbell, being one of the tallest, longest athletes in the field, yet somehow he still hangs with these shorter athletes when it comes to barbell cycling.
Crouch, Sprague, Jason Hopper, and Colton Mertens all done with round 1. Here comes Pepper, Gerard, Medeiros, and Jeff Adler.
Medeiros is a little bit in the back half of this field. We know Jay is going to hang on to the rig if he can. Colton Mertens for sure is not going to back down at all against these other athletes.
Yeah, Mertens right now not a factor in the battle for the podium. You talk a lot about running your race. That's where you need to have awareness. If you're one of the guys fighting for the podium right now, yeah, you want to obviously win this event, but don't get caught running a race you don't want to run with Colton Mertens.
Yes, at the same time, can you use Colton Mertens to your advantage? Because the points are just going to get tighter and tighter as we go out through the weekend. So can you stay with Colton Mertens and maybe use him to separate between you and those chasing you?
Mertens is in 10th place overall with 459 points. Jason Hopper, 7th place overall at 555.
4 past champs in the top 10.
Mertens, Sprague, Crouch, and Hopper onto the squat snatches here in round 2.
Now Mertens had fell behind on the squat snatches in the first round, but now he's moved ahead.
And Justin Medeiros now just moving into the final station here in round 2 as Mertens is your leader, heading back for his third and final set of 21 toes to bar. Crouch, Sprague, and Hopper all dead even behind him on the right side of your screen.
And the thing that Colton Mertens is doing different than is he's shortening up his kip as much as he possibly can, tucking his knees to his chest and cycling these toes to bar as fast as possible.
Sprague took a break as Mertens is just 3 reps away from closing out his set of 21.
Ooh, a second break for James Sprague.
Here comes Colton Mertens moving his way to the far end of the floor. Jay Crouch solidly in second place. Crouch trying to make up 6 points on Justin Medeiros for second place overall. Hopper is off the pull-up bar. Colton Mertens all by himself in first. Here comes James Sprague. Justin Medeiros is now done with his toes to bar for the final time. Colton Mertens continuing to lead here. 5:19.79 seconds, the time to beat. Very much in danger right now. Mertens onto the hang snatches, as is Crouch. Sprague has moved into third with Jason Hopper. The two of them going pretty much rep for rep. Now Crouch advances along with Mertens. He's tied for first. Mertens cycling the barbell more quickly on the left side of your screen, looking to pick up another event win. And it's Colton Mertens who's going to do it. 100 points for the Iron Hog. Here comes Jay Crouch. Hopper is done. He's going to take third. Sprague is now in. And here comes Justin Medeiros, who sold out to hit that buzzer. Dallin Pepper is in. Ricky Garrard, your leader on the floor, his final rep. Garrard is in, and now Jeff Adler has 1 rep to go. And Adler is done. Krennikov and Feibig, last 2 men on the floor. Roman is currently ahead of Feibig. 2 left for Krennikov. And he closing out his second day of competition. Feibig's going to get capped, but Colton Mertens is going to get 100 points and another event win. What an effort from Colton Mertens.
Right out of the gate, Colton Mertens, you knew you were going to see it. You just weren't sure if he's going to be able to hold on. Gets to the barbell first at the end of the first round, but actually lost the lead to James Sprague and Jay Crouch, finishing up the round of 1. But once round 1 was over, it was a Colton Mertens show. Extended his lead in round 2, and then once he got back to the rig, there was no stopping the Iron Hog. Colton Mertens, a fan favorite here at the CrossFit Games. It's been so for the last few years. And this guy, when he gets an opportunity to hit a home run, he doesn't miss.
His 3rd win of the competition. 4:55.57 seconds. The top 5 times in the event come from this final heat. Victor Hoffer's time is going to earn him a 6th place finish from heat number 2. Let's send it down to Mike Arsenault with Colton Mertens and James Sprague. Mike?
Colton, your 3rd event win of the 2026 CrossFit Games with a few performances outside of the top 25. So through 2 days, 12 events, how would you assess your performance thus far?
I won't assess it until we get done. People keep asking me how I'm feeling, how I feel about my performance, how I feel about the events, and I just tell them I don't feel about it. So just focus on the work. Just same shit we do every day. Come in, do some hard-ass work.
Where do you get that focus from, that tunnel vision to just focus on the task at hand and not listen to those questions and the outside noise?
I've been working on it a lot over these past few years, and it's really come a long ways when I started reading the Bible more and just focusing more on Christ and not putting my identity in the results and trying to just be proud of the work that I put in. And I think as a Christian, you should carry yourself as an expert in your craft and do the best you can.
Well, it's paying off. Thank you very much, Colton.
Thank you.
James, your performance thus far, a little bit of a different end of the spectrum. Through 12 events, you have 8 spots in the top 6. So consistency has been key through the first 2 days of the competition. How are you able to have such steady performances throughout the 2 days and the 12 events thus far?
There's so much that goes into us, man. But first and foremost, that crowd right there, my family and my friends, all my loved ones coming to support me, making me food, rubbing my back, shout out wife. Just all the little things that go into such a big event. You need that team, and I couldn't do it without them. I also just want to say thank you to my coach for getting me ready for this. There's so much that goes into programming for an athlete, making sure they're ready for 20 events, and my coach had me feeling really good, and I think that's a testament to where I'm at now.
You're one of 4 former CrossFit Games champions in the men's field. How do you stay hungry? How do you stay focused and motivated and put the time into training to come back here when you've already reached the top of the mountain?
Yeah, so I want to use this gift to the best of my ability. I believe I've been blessed with the gift of fitness and to work hard and showcase it out here on the stage. And many are the plans in my own heart to be able to win a competition like this, win the CrossFit Games. But at the end of the day, as long as I'm having a good attitude, having fun, encouraging people through this, and being a light for people, that's what matters to me most. But it doesn't mean I don't want to win. I want to win more than ever. And I think this fight out here over these 12 events has showed, hey, you know what? I'm in the right spot. Don't get complacent. Only up from here.
Well, you mentioned your team. You're going to need them. 2 more days left of the competition, 8 more events. You're going to sleep on Friday night in the leader's jersey. James, congratulations.
Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you guys. San Jose, you rock.
James Sprague, your overall leader heading into the weekend. 8 events remain before we crown the fittest man and woman on earth. Men are done with the Hopper 2026. Coming up next, it's the women's turn. We'll have it for you when we come back. The 2026 CrossFit Games are presented by Air National Guard. Guard what matters. By Rogue. Don't weaken. Official equipment supplier of CrossFit and the CrossFit Games. By Velites. We are Velites and we are made, not born. And by Sattva, the luxury of restorative sleep.
How long are you going to listen to a society that tells you that there's an easy way? Listen to me, there is no quick fix. They're telling us it's a pill, it's an injection, it's this, it's that. No, it's hard work. Your future health is based on the decision you make today. You don't have to be the quickest, the strongest. You just need to take charge. Yes, optimal health can be a reality, yes. It's yours, but you gotta get up and you gotta go get it. It's yours, but you gotta put in the work. It's yours, but you gotta grind. All it takes is you making a decision right now, because practice makes permanent.
The women take center stage for the 12th event out of 20 of the 2026 CrossFit Games inside the SAP Center in San Jose, California. Thanks for being with us, everybody, on this beautiful Friday night in NorCal. I'm Sean Woodland with Chase Ingram, and Bella Martin is on the competition floor. Individual event 12 is the Hopper 2026, programmed by Tia Toomey and chosen by the fans. They chose wisely.
Yeah, they did. This is a beautiful couplet between some gymnastics and barbell work. 21 toes to bar, 7 unbroken power snatches, 7 unbroken hang power snatches, followed by 7 unbroken squat snatches, all at 65 pounds.
Mission Breathe, presented by Air National Guard. What do you got for us?
Look, you got to go fast. It's the only way you're going to get under 6 minutes, but you need to be efficient if you want to sustain that pace throughout the entirety of the 3 rounds. Manage your grip wisely, whether that's breaking on the rig or resting between sets of 7. It's going to get blown up. You just can't do it too early.
Hannah Black will be in lane number 1. She wrote her graduate thesis on the workout Isabel, which is 30 snatches for time.
Pretty darn close, and she's pretty good at snatching to begin with. This could be a bounce back event for Hannah Black.
We are underway in the first of 3 heats for the women, starting with those 21 toes to bar.
Seen a lot of different strategies on the men's side. Some athletes opting to go unbroken. Some taking 1 or even 2 breaks during the toes to bar section. Now, if you opt to do that, you're almost committing yourself to a certain pace and rest scheme once you get to the barbell. 7 power snatches at 65 pounds. Those of you guys that are new to this or watching at home, it just means they're not allowed to squat the bar. And then once they move to the hang power snatches, you got to keep it above the knee to start the rep.
Lucy McGonigal, bottom of your screen in lane 2 in the light blue. Now on the left side, she is your leader. Ella Wilkinson on the right, currently in second place as McGonigal moves her barbell into the first set of squat snatches. Again, all these reps need to be unbroken. Hasn't been a problem so far, at least for the men.
Just got to make sure you're in a good position, and that's the efficiency component we were talking about at the top of the event. You've got to move fast, but you have to move well, because once you get fatigued, and a movement like snatching is that it is such a delicate movement. 1 inch forward or backwards out of place, and that barbell's coming down to the ground, and you got to start all the way over again.
Lucy McGonigal making her second appearance as an individual at the CrossFit Games. She's the only teenage competitor to ever win a medal all 4 years she competed in the teenage division. She was first twice and second and a third as well.
Incredible pedigree we have with these younger athletes that went through the teen ranks and now here in elite individual competition. We see the same thing on the men's side. Don't forget, Dallin Pepper, Tudor Magda, and James Spray competed against each other in the teen division.
McGonigal back to round 2 on the barbell. Starts with those 7 power snatches. And here comes Alexis Raptis along with Erica Folo down in lane 10. Hannah Black to the barbell as well on the far left side of your screen. The top 2 on the screen right now. Lucy McGonigal on the left, Erica Folo on the right. It's about 30 kilos on that barbell, 65 pounds to the women. Folo into the final station in the second round. 7 unbroken squat snatches. Alexis Raptis is there as well. Raptis in second place as McGonigal moves her way back to the pull-up bar for the 3rd and final time. Here comes Alexis Raptis in second place, and now Folo's done.
And we've been waiting to see a performance like this from Lucy McGonigal since Wednesday. Really haven't had a clean run in the last 11 events, so it's nice to see her have one coming in event, or the last event of day number 2.
McGonigal with 10 reps remaining.
Taking a big break after that first break. It's the first time she's broken her toes to bar since the first round.
And Raptis is right on her heels on the right side of your screen. 4 reps left here on the toes to bar for Lucy McGonigal. And she is done and will run to the barbell at the far end of the floor. for her third and final round here of 21 movements on that barbell. Here comes Alexis Raptis in second place. Start with those 7 power snatches. Folo and Hannah Black are now done, hustling their way down the floor to join Raptis and McGonigal. Seven hang power snatches now from McGonigal as Raptis is closing out her first set of power snatches. McGonigal advances for the final time. 7 squat snatches for Lucy McGonigal, looking to pick up the heat win. Less than a minute to go before we hit the time cap. Raptis into her final 7 reps. Final rep for McGonigal, and she's going to take the heat. 5:17.91 seconds as Alexis Raptis.
You can see the grip starting to go. That bent arm position means the grip is shot.
And Raptis is in.
Way to hang on to the barbell at the end.
Hannah Black is going to take third. And Erica Folo in fourth place. Miriam Von Rohr just about done. And Holly Tynan just beat her across the finish line, and that's going to be the time cap. With 5:17.91 seconds, the top time from Lucy McGonigal heading in to heat number 2.
Lucy McGonigal, left side of your screen, unbroken on her first round of 21 toes to bar. Had to make a move. She's at the bottom of the leaderboard. It's time to take some chances, and she sure did. She went out with Ella Wilkinson. But once she got through that first round, she was pretty much all by herself for a while as she was able to go unbroken on her second round of toes to bar. But moving the bar with good efficiency, good intensity. Alexis Raptis tried to keep pace with her, but it was still too much, too late as Lucy McGonigal takes the heat.
6 of the 10 women in that opening heat able to complete the entirety of the event inside the 6-minute time cap as Miriam Von Rohr had about 4 seconds and change to spare. Alexis Raptis looking for her best finish of the competition, finishing second to McGonigal. 2 heats remain. Heat number 2 coming up next as we wrap up our coverage of day number 2 at the 2026 CrossFit Games. One heat is down, 2 heats remain here in event 12 of 20 for the individual women competing at the 2026 CrossFit Games. We are live inside the Shark Tank, the SAP Center in San Jose, California. Event number 12, the Hopper 2026.
3 rounds for time, 21 toes to bar, and then we have a barbell complex of power snatches, hang power snatches, and squat snatches. 7 reps of each. Each set must be done unbroken.
The mission brief presented by Air National Guard is
efficiency over intensity, because when it gets intense, that's when things start to go off the rails. So you got to make sure that you're moving well, even under fatigue, and manage that grip, whether it's on the toes to bar or taking breaks between your sets of power snatches. Don't blow up too soon before you get to the end.
Second of 3 heats, 10 women on the competition floor. Ellie Turner will be in lane number 5. She should not have any trouble with this barbell.
She should not, but she has had a couple of missteps today, more than she did on Wednesday. She was inside the top 10 on Wednesday, has now fallen outside the top 10 after the last event. Let's see if she can make a move here going into Saturday.
Eileen Wirtz in this heat, and she is an athlete who is pretty impressive and still is impressive, but is moving the wrong way in the standings right now.
She is, but every once in a while she has a surprising finish like she did on the handstand walk. Let's see if she can do another one now.
Lucy McGonigal has your top time out of heat number 1, 5:17.91 seconds, and it was really a break on the final set of toes to bar that prevented that time from being even faster.
And that's part of the intensity of the event. 21 toes to bar for 3 rounds is nothing to these athletes. Even 12 events in 2 days into 4 days of the weekend. But how fast they're going takes such an immense toll on their bodies that 21 feels like 42.
Saria Meha is the first woman to the barbell, but followed closely by Domit, Wurz, Brandon, as it is close here in this opening round of snatches.
I'm not saying a lot can change between round 1 and round 3, but if you tip the scales into the red on your grip, it's going to make you a little gun shy going into that second and third round.
Abby Domit, Danielle Brandon, and Saria Meha into the final set of 7. Full squat snatches here. Again, all need to be unbroken. Top 3 on the screen. Domit on the left, Brandon and Meha on the right. And Domit's going to be first to advance her barbell, followed by Brandon and Matilda Garnis at the far end of the floor, who's now moved into 3rd place.
I really like how fast Abby Domit on the left in orange ran to the rig much faster than anybody else. That shows that she has a lot of confidence in what she's doing.
42 reps per round at the 63 rep mark is when the women will move on to round 2 on the barbell.
Talk about efficiency. Just look at Danielle Brandon. Smooth kip, straight legs, straight arms, just hinging or flexing right at the waist. Good smooth movement from Danielle Brandon.
Domit to the barbell, Meha and Brandon close behind her, and then at the upper right-hand part of your screen, that's Matilda Garnis. Here comes Olivia Kerstetter.
You see Abby Domit in lane number 3. She's basically just bending at the waist, not even bending her knees, and that's the efficiency part. It's fast, but it's not technically efficient. Now, if she's strong enough to handle it, then it doesn't matter at the end of the day.
But another thing she's doing is throwing the barbell forward.
But then she's also bouncing it out of her lane, so
correct.
She's losing some precious seconds here and there. So you need to just tighten up that just a little bit, because those things happening in round 3 could be massive implications if the field is close to her.
Domit, Brandon, and Meha onto the final set of 7 here in round 2.
See the pace starting to slow for Abby Domit, a lot slower underneath the bar than she was the first time, and you can see those little steps forward, those little steps backwards. That is a sign of fatigue.
And Danielle Brandon has closed the gap in the middle of the screen. Meha and Garnis, the next 2 to make it to the pull-up bar. And there goes Olivia Kerstetter, the right side of your screen. Final round. Time to beat, upper left-hand part of your screen belongs to Lucy McGonigal out of heat number 1.
Brandon takes another break that allows Domit to catch up. Can Domit hang on to the rig? Should Domit hang on to the rig?
Brandon back to work. Brandon's got 6 reps left.
She's got to keep it close. Abby Domit has been faster on the power snatches, and she had to break again, and that was not a break she wanted to make.
That's another break for Brandon as well. And now the sprint to the other end of the floor. Matilda Garnis was actually off first, but it's Domit and Brandon, who are moving more quickly to the barbell.
Domit's faster to the bar, but Danielle is more efficient on the bar. We're going to see who saved a little bit for the end between the two.
This is the battle for first place, and don't forget about Matilda Garnis there on the bottom right-hand part of your screen. Domit, the first to advance her barbell. Here comes Brandon. Meha's on to her final set on the barbell as well. Here comes Olivia Kerstetter. Domit with a rep lead on Brandon. Brandon tossing the barbell forward, trying to catch up with Abby Domit right into that first squat snatch. Garnis on the right is creeping up. Domit trying to hold off Danielle Brandon. They're going rep for rep. Final rep for Domit, final rep for Brandon, and it's going to be Abby Domit. Takes the heat. Garnis is across in third. 5:04.36 seconds for Abby Domit.
Meha comes in just a little bit after that, but what a race between Abby Domit and Danielle Brandon. Danielle Brandon almost had it.
Olivia Kerstetter is in. Lydia Fish. Closing out her event with about 12 seconds to spare. Bjornsdottir trying to get in inside the time cap. And she will make it. The Wurs, Greer, and Ellie Turner getting time capped.
Look, that's a lot of hinging on a barbell for someone like Ellie Turner. A lot of cycling a bar. It's not necessarily her strong suit after that injury. But Abby Domit on the left, Danielle Brandon on the right. This was the race that we were hoping to see. Abby, where she made up her time, is how much she was willing to risk the potential of failure by just moving the bar fast, not necessarily efficient. But it was also the race between the rig, the race between the bar, and Abby Domit's speed to the bar is what separated her between Danielle Brandon and the finish line.
Great finish and a fantastic race. 0.6 seconds between Abby Domit and Danielle Brandon, with Matilda Garnis coming in 4 seconds after them. Another solid finish for Saria Meha, and Olivia Kerstetter takes fifth. Final heat for the women coming up next as we close out day 2 at the 2026 CrossFit Games. Final heat of the final event for day number 2 at the 2026 CrossFit Games is on tap. Live inside the SAP Center in San Jose, California. Glad you're with us, everybody. The Air National Guard Overwatch Cam earlier today. What a race we had in that final heat of the handstand obstacle course. And it was Paige Rogers picking up her first career event win to move herself inside the top 10 coming into this 12th event.
And think of where she started in day number 1 and what she's done up to that point. Building momentum, capitalizing on opportunities. Paige Rogers is setting herself up very well coming into tonight.
Emma Lawson with another solid performance as well, as she now sits in second place. But Amy Kringle with 736 points. We still have plenty of points out there, but you need to start reeling her in now.
Yes, and the only one within striking distance, as it looks like, is Emma Lawson and Lucy Campbell, and they're nearly 100 points back coming into event number 12.
Event 12 is the Hopper 2026. Toes to bar and 3 types of snatches.
Power snatches, hang power snatches, and squat snatches. Unbroken sets of 7 at 65 pounds.
mission brief for today.
You got to be efficient over intense, because if you're getting intense without efficiency, you're getting sloppy, and that will not work in this event tonight. Manage your grip wisely. If that's a break on the rig, take it. If that's more rest before a barbell cycle, take it. Do not just start going unbroken and hanging onto a bar, because that third round is going to blow you up if you're not prepared for it.
Overall leader Amy Kringle will be in lane number 6. There is such a thing as escape velocity at the CrossFit Games. We saw Tia Toomey make a habit of it. She was usually there on day 2. But like I said, Amy Kringle is playing with house money right now.
But she's also doing it with her performance. It's not that someone's failing here or someone's failing there. She's super consistent, and the confidence she's gaining might be insurmountable.
Amy Kringle has finished inside the top 10 in every event except for one. That was a 17th in the CrossFit total. The squat portion, only a 50-point event. But other than that, she has been extremely consistent.
Amy Kringle on the right side of the screen has a very tight backswing, trying to cycle this much quicker than the field, but does take what I can only assume is a very structured break in this first set of 21.
Built for the wild. Shop the Yeti Fitness Collection. Drinkware and gear as tough as your training at yeti.com/fitness.
Amy Kringle's cycle rate was so fast that even with one break, she got off the rig before Emma Lawson did, who went unbroken.
Kringle already has 3 event wins in this competition. The only woman, again, above the 700-point mark. And she is dead even with Emma Lawson and Maddie Sturt for the lead here at the end of round 1. Kringle and Lawson advancing their barbells. Here comes Lucy Campbell. Maddie Sturt done as well. Back for 21 more toes to bar. Emma Lawson second place with 615 points, or 50, pardon me. She's only 11 up on Lucy Campbell for second.
Now that backswing's a little bit further for Amy Kringle in the white and red. Emma Lawson still hanging onto the rig. Kringle takes her one break. Emma Lawson keeps going.
Campbell took a quick break on the right side of your screen. She's quickly back to work. And Lawson's going to be done first.
Now this time, Lawson hanging on was able to get off the rig faster than Kringle, because Kringle could not sustain that tight speed kit that she did in round number 1.
5:04.36 seconds from Abby Doman in heat 2. That's your top time. Lawson and Kringle onto the hang snatches now. Top 3 on the screen: Lawson, Kringle, and Lucy Campbell. Maddie Sturt on the far right side, also in a tie for 4th place right now. Kringle 736 points. He's got an 88-point lead on Lawson. So Lawson now not only has to start beating Kringle, she's got to hope that other people start to get between her and Kringle in the process.
And that's wild to say with still half of the competition left to go with 2 more days after tonight.
Round 3 now underway. Back to the pull-up bar. 21 more reps on the toes to bar. And it's Emma Lawson on the left side leading the way here.
Emma Lawson was unbroken in round 1, unbroken in round 2. Amy Kringle has broken once each time intentionally, and that's the first break for Emma Lawson.
Doman and Lawson right now on about the same pace, and Abby Doman does have that top time. 5:04.36 seconds, upper left-hand part of your screen. Emma Lawson does have an event win under her belt, won the run, hang, squat clean event earlier today.
2 breaks for Lawson and Kringle.
And Kringle and Campbell off at the same time, followed closely by Lawson. And now to the barbell for their final set of 21.
Now Campbell's been behind the entire time, kept one break each round, and that's what got her in contention again.
And for Kringle, just stay close to these two and you're fine.
She could play that game the rest of the weekend.
Kringle and Campbell into their second set of 7. Doman hoping her time lasts here. And now Campbell just ahead of Kringle. Here comes Lawson. Squat snatches. Campbell able to get 2 reps in. 126 is the mark Campbell's got to hit. She's got 3 remaining. And Lucy Campbell's going to take the event by a couple of seconds and pick up another 100 points. And that one's going to be close between Lawson and Kringle. Don't have a time yet for Kringle.
Oh, I wonder if she missed.
It was clear that she made an attempt to hit it.
And maybe it didn't activate because that was a dead tie nearly between Lawson and Kringle.
And Kringle has yet to have a time register, so they're going to have to figure that out. But very clear that she got across the finish line at about the same time as Emma Lawson. But Lucy Campbell with another event win. She was 9 points back of Lawson. And now Gazan is across. And with that, day 2 is in the books. So Kringle did not get capped. Now they will take a look at her time. They have a couple of redundancies here built in just for this type of occurrence.
Now I would say Cam would be like, hey, would you mind at least 0.01 behind Emma Lawson?
Just something, help me out here.
But Lucy Campbell, the gamer.
Second event win of the competition. Here, you said it earlier. Don't ever count her out late in an event. She just has a knack of making those late charges and making them count.
Well, she's going to need to for the final 8 events of the CrossFit Games as she wants to stay close, if not beat Amy Kringle, because Amy Kringle came flying out of the gates on the toes bar, but could not shake Emma Lawson. Emma Lawson was able to hold on to the bar for the second round of toes to bar, which got her ahead of Amy Kringle. But it was Lucy Campbell sticking to her plan. 1 break only on toes to bar. Cycle the barbell as fast as I can. Put her just ahead of Kringle and Lawson when she needed it the most.
Now keep an eye on Kringle as she goes to the buzzer.
Ooh.
She clearly hit it.
He clearly hit it and ahead of Emma Lawson.
So right now, the way it stands is Lawson's getting credit for 4th place. It's looking like from that video that Kringle's going to wind up in 4th. Another top 10 finish for her.
But more people than we thought between Lucy Campbell and Amy Kringle. So it's not just the 4 points she stole, being almost 100 points back, but it could be 12 to 16 points going into Saturday.
And that is definitely going to add up if that keeps up going through the weekend. Let's send it down to Bella Martin with Amy Kringle and Lucy Campbell.
Lucy Campbell, congratulations on your 6th ever CrossFit Games event win. We've been waiting to talk for a couple days now. Tell me, today's had some ups and downs. We're ending off on a win. How are you going to navigate the rest of the competition weekend?
I think it's going to be more of the same, I'll be honest, so I'm just ready for that. I know there are some things coming on the last day that aren't there yet, so hopefully that will happen on the comp floor. But just, really attacking the events that I know can go quite well and searching for every point.
Last year you were in 2nd place on the podium. You are now in that same position. Does it feel familiar now, or does it still feel like a dream?
No, I mean, I was insanely nervous, honestly, coming into this whole week. I think there's a different chat when you come second, and the person who won, obviously Tia not being here this year. So that's been a lot. But I'm just really proud of sort of getting into it because I always know that the run-up is the absolute worst.
Congratulations. Well done. Thank you. Amy Kringle, you are now continuing to wear that leader's jersey going into the third day of competition. We are over halfway there. Was this what you and your coach were expecting moving into this weekend?
Not really, so it's nice to just wear it. Yeah, third year, I wasn't expecting to be wearing this on the third day. Well, going into the third day. So I'm just taking everything in and enjoying it out there.
Last year, you were in the conversation. You were on the come up. And by that third day, we didn't have the performances we want to. How are you going to maintain this leader jersey so we don't have a repeat of last year?
Well, yeah, I just obviously need more events starting on a Wednesday. So, yeah, just do what I can, take an event, by event, and then, yeah, see what I can do.
Well, hopefully we get you a fresh uniform for tomorrow because you're going to need it. Well done.
Thank you.
Now the question is, how do we handle the pressure that is now going to come on Amy Kringle's shoulders going into Saturday? Lucy Campbell talked about the pressure coming in. That's new for her. Never experienced. Coming into the white leader jersey, where now all eyes on you. Every misstep you take or every move that you make that someone else might jump ahead of you is going to weigh on you. Can she hold on to it going into Saturday? Can she take it going into Sunday? That is what I'm excited to see going into tomorrow.
It is a great race. Meanwhile, over on the men's side, James Sprague continues to lead. He's only 14 up on Crouch. He's only 20 up on the former two-time champion, Justin Medeiros. And Dallin Pepper continues to lurk back there inside the top 5, and you cannot count out a guy like Ricky Garrard, someone who definitely loves the fact that there are 20 events in this competition.
I mean, we have 8 events left to go. That was nearly the 2025 CrossFit Games, and we only had 10.
But James Sprague has been extremely impressive throughout this weekend. And we will see if he is able to hang on as we have 2 days of competition left. Here is your schedule. The teams are going to kick things off at 9 a.m. Pacific time. And then the individuals will take over at 10 a.m. So another full day of action here.
I gotta say, we're so spoiled of what we get to watch over the course of these 4 days, but it is going to be a wild day. Traditionally, moving day is Saturday, and we are poised to have a lot of movement on the leaderboard if today was any indication.
It was an exciting, fun Friday here in San Jose as we have 8 events remaining. The teams, once again, will be back in action tomorrow morning, and then the individuals take over. James Sprague leads the way for the men. Amy Kringle on top of the standings for the women. For all the official scores and standings, you can head to games.crossfit.com. For Chase Ingram, Mike Arsenault, Bella Martin, and our entire crew here in San Jose, I'm Sean Woodland. We will see you tomorrow.